creator of a game called Money Dash. In this video, we will continue our mini-game project. Let's make a health bar for our soldiers. Since our AI scripts were almost the same, we have merged into just one script, and the same for our spawner scripts. In our soldiers prefab, let's create a new game object called hpBar to contain our health bar. Inside of our container, let's create also a background object, and let's add a sprite renderer. In order to put our health bar in front of every other sprite, let's create a new sorting layer called custom UI and put our sprite renderer on it. For the shape of our sprite, let's take the default input field background since it is white, and we will be able to give any color we like. Let's change the draw mode of our sprite renderer to slice. Now let's duplicate our background, and call this new game object image fill. Also let's give it a proper health bar color. Let's change the size of our two sprites. Now, let's create a new game object, and add it a sprite mask, selecting also the input field background as sprite. Next, in our image fill, let's change the mask interaction to visible inside mask, also the order in layer to some number higher than our background. Now, let's put our mask object as a child of our fill image, also let's make it a little bigger than the image to hide the weird corners. By moving our mask, you can have an idea of how we will make this work. In our enemy AI, let's create a new event called onDamage. If you do not know how events work, check our video on that. In our damage method, let's invoke our event and pass it the result of our other method called getHpAmountPercent. This will be the current percent of our life points divided by 100. We get an error because our event takes an int and we are passing a float. Now, let's create a new script called hpBarHandle and add it to our hpBar object. In our hpBarHandle script, let's subscribe and unsubscribe our setHpBar method from our onDamage event. To make this work, let's take the reference of our mask transform, and move it to the left in our setHpBar method. Now, let's rename our mask transform, and assign it to our script. We have several errors here, let's fix them. The first is, in our enemy AI script, we are invoking our event inside of this if condition that means, when the soldier dies. Next, our event cannot be static because if it is so, all our hpBars will receive the same value. To receive our event in our hpBarHandle script, let's get the reference of our enemy AI script in the start method. Next, let's get the code of our setHpBar method out of the if condition. After some try and error, our hpBarHandle script end up like this. In this test, we can see our hpBars works perfectly. Now for the castle's hpBars, since neither they or our camera will move, we used UI sliders. The Unity UI sliders have a value field that goes between 0 and 1, just like the result of our getHpAmount method. Let's set to false the interactable value of our slider, to prevent the user to move it manually. Just like the HP bar we did before, it have a background and a filled image. Here in our UI castle control, we grab the reference of our slider, and we just set its value property, with the one we received from our on-castle damage event. If you found this video helpful, consider to subscribe and like, so you help others to find it.